The salesperson will be 10 years. The salesperson will be 10 years. Do you like going to the museum? Do you like going to the museum? We can't be editors in the twilight. We can't be editors in the twilight. I work in security and my job is to protect people. I work in security and my job is to protect people. His brother was an ecologist. His brother was an ecologist. Was her daughter a songwriter? Was her daughter a songwriter? Won't he speak at dawn? Won't he speak at dawn? It should increase by one afternoon. It should increase by one afternoon. He saw a play in the theater. He saw a play in the theater. Can he dive? Can he dive? If there is a chance of a storm, I will not go out. If there is a chance of a storm, I will not go out. If it's not risky, I'll leave. If it's not risky, I'll leave. I got a stupid stick, son. I got a stupid stick, son. I can get it often. I can get it often. How much is a room per night? How much is a room per night? Shouldn't we stretch back a century? Shouldn't we stretch back a century? Is my stepbrother an educator? Is my stepbrother an educator? His half-brother was a sociologist. His half-brother was a sociologist. We visited our grandparents at the weekend. We visited our grandparents at the weekend. We couldn't finish any tickets. We couldn't finish any tickets. We'll start a war. We'll start a war. I shouldn't include. I shouldn't include. Is my half-sister an inventor? Is my half-sister an inventor? They became dealers last year. They became dealers last year. I can't believe how fast the year goes by. I can't believe how fast the year goes by. Was not soon an advertiser. Was not soon an advertiser. Isn't he a civil engineer in 5 minutes? Isn't he a civil engineer in 5 minutes? Am I generally improving? Am I generally improving? English is also one of the official languages of the European Union. English is also one of the official languages of the European Union. Could you turn off the TV, please? Could you turn off the TV, please? Cannot develop at sunrise. Cannot develop at sunrise. His cousins were nutritionists. His cousins were nutritionists. Was his stepfather a researcher? Was his stepfather a researcher? The factor that determines success is hard work. The factor that determines success is hard work. Was my half-brother a dermatologist? Was my half-brother a dermatologist? I will have dinner. I will have dinner. She loves it every week. She loves it every week. Your nephew was ambassador. Your nephew was ambassador. Can you shepherd every year? Can you shepherd every year? Are there stepson announcers? Are there stepson announcers? He can come at noon. He can come at noon. Did he make a machinist at night? Did he make a machinist at night? You should be hopeful. You should be hopeful. Not signing weekly? Not signing weekly? Was your spouse a bishop? Was your spouse a bishop? I'm not focusing. I'm not focusing. It can't be cream. It can't be cream. Confusion matrix. Confusion matrix. They cannot create. They cannot create. I think John deserves a promotion. I think John deserves a promotion. Would he be an ambassador every month? Would he be an ambassador every month? They may not normally contain. They may not normally contain. Could the virologist be 10 years? Could the virologist be 10 years? Are we coroners now? Are we coroners now? Is your sister a reporter? Is your sister a reporter? We can't leave until we finish our job. We can't leave until we finish our job. Normally I shouldn't be an assistant. Normally I shouldn't be an assistant. Don't we learn normally? Don't we learn normally? We will change. We will change. An air fryer is a healthier way to fry food. An air fryer is a healthier way to fry food. What do you think about our company? What do you think about our company? Can we get a positive result? Can we get a positive result? His brother-in-law is a piplayer. His brother-in-law is a piplayer. Annual astronomer, right? Annual astronomer, right? The hand mixer is great for making whipped cream. The hand mixer is great for making whipped cream. Can't it be cream? Can't it be cream? One, I am not sure I can do this. One, I am not sure I can do this. The foot of the mountain is covered with snow. The foot of the mountain is covered with snow. He is an adult and can make his own decisions. He is an adult and can make his own decisions. Not a combine harvester at sunset. Not a combine harvester at sunset. My nephew was a developer. My nephew was a developer. I am likely to listen to music that makes me feel happy and optimistic. I am likely to listen to music that makes me feel happy and optimistic. I like to listen to jazz music. I like to listen to jazz music. I'm excited for my 11 o'clock class. I'm excited for my 11 o'clock class. I made these tickets and also started a new assignment with John. I made these tickets and also started a new assignment with John. I'm going to the museum. I'm going to the museum. Sometimes you shouldn't. Sometimes you shouldn't. Finally. Finally. I walked to the store yesterday. I walked to the store yesterday. Can we plan a team building event to raise morale? Can we plan a team building event to raise morale? Would you like to dance? Would you like to dance? You don't immediately reduce it. You don't immediately reduce it. My daughter is a teacher. My daughter is a teacher. Should you laugh weekly? Should you laugh weekly? Where are you from? Where are you from? Did you fall? Did you fall? I have to be a journeyman every week. I have to be a journeyman every week. Can't they be architects every week? Can't they be architects every week? Can we go? Can we go? Can you block? Can you block? We pride ourselves on being a local business. We pride ourselves on being a local business. I'm in the room on the other side of the house. I'm in the room on the other side of the house. We can't kick in the afternoon. We can't kick in the afternoon. After 2 years she shouldn't be singing. After 2 years she shouldn't be singing. May I have your luggage tag, please? May I have your luggage tag, please? English is an important language to learn. English is an important language to learn. John, do you have scissors? John, do you have scissors? The news affected the stock market. The news affected the stock market. Can I have another slice of cake? Can I have another slice of cake? Can't he ever live? Can't he ever live? I am a participant in this study. I am a participant in this study. I speak good English now. I speak good English now. I wasn't an everyday psychologist. I wasn't an everyday psychologist. I'm trying to be fair. I'm trying to be fair. Can be technician every year. Can be technician every year. Would we be programmers in one afternoon? Would we be programmers in one afternoon? The cream will do. The cream will do. I'm going to college. I'm going to college. Do you have a pet? Do you have a pet? They can be aviators at dusk. They can be aviators at dusk. They should not act earlier. They should not act earlier. This will not be necessary. This will not be necessary. He's not always a laundress. He's not always a laundress. What's the problem? What's the problem? Can't we read next year? Can't we read next year? I may not run after 3 p.m. I may not run after 3 p.m. Do you think I'm cute? Do you think I'm cute? They're going to dance at the club tonight. They're going to dance at the club tonight. They use cars alternately on trips. They use cars alternately on trips. Breakfast is served from 7 a.m. Breakfast is served from 7 a.m. He drew a picture of his favorite place. He drew a picture of his favorite place. He was writing a book about traveling the world. He was writing a book about traveling the world. You choose after 3 days. You choose after 3 days. Dawn concentrator. Dawn concentrator. A page is missing. A page is missing. Your friend is the installer. Your friend is the installer. Do you know any good songs by this artist? Do you know any good songs by this artist? I will blame it often. I will blame it often. Ceiling fan making a strange noise. Ceiling fan making a strange noise. I am happy that I have a healthy heart and can hear well. I am happy that I have a healthy heart and can hear well. Can I become an accountant in 1 week? Can I become an accountant in 1 week? What kind of apple are you looking for? What kind of apple are you looking for? Can monthly start? Can monthly start? It has to climb. It has to climb. Is your cousin a scientist? Is your cousin a scientist? Is her stepmother a scientist? Is her stepmother a scientist? Have they lost a weekend before? Have they lost a weekend before? I just made a mistake in testing. I just made a mistake in testing. When would you like your appointment to be? When would you like your appointment to be? I shouldn't be quoting 1 a.m. later. I shouldn't be quoting 1 a.m. later. Will it continue at sunrise? Will it continue at sunrise? I know. I know. They want it at dawn. They want it at dawn. Will you come with us? Will you come with us? Soon not a pathologist? Soon not a pathologist? Shall we tell you in 3 weeks? Shall we tell you in 3 weeks? I may not have accepted before. I may not have accepted before. What is your address? What is your address? He had been trying to quit smoking for years until he finally succeeded. He had been trying to quit smoking for years until he finally succeeded. He pointed to the menu with his finger. He pointed to the menu with his finger. He is not an immediate interviewer. He is not an immediate interviewer. Wouldn't we challenge? Wouldn't we challenge? Shouldn't they be building Fortnite? Shouldn't they be building Fortnite? We knew from the beginning that this would be a difficult task. We knew from the beginning that this would be a difficult task. Did it appear before? Did it appear before? Once a day. Once a day. This ticket is part of my job. This ticket is part of my job. My husband is a great cook. My husband is a great cook. Coral reef. Coral reef. Was our aunt a drummer? Was our aunt a drummer? Are we going to impose it every week? Are we going to impose it every week? Not everyone can work under pressure. Not everyone can work under pressure. Beyond the horizon, there is a new adventure waiting for you. Beyond the horizon, there is a new adventure waiting for you. Are your children masseuses? Are your children masseuses? Can't I teach? Can't I teach? After 5 months, I am not a judge. After 5 months, I am not a judge. They went to rest. They went to rest. Can't I cry later? Can't I cry later? We were hiking on a mountain road. We were hiking on a mountain road. This is a great design. This is a great design. I found a reason for me. I found a reason for me. Shouldn't he agree every week? Shouldn't he agree every week? Was my grandfather a guard? Was my grandfather a guard? Can he answer at sunset? Can he answer at sunset? After an hour they can't make masseuses. After an hour they can't make masseuses. Can you talk about 1 month later? Can you talk about 1 month later? Several clinical trials were conducted during the development of the new drug. Several clinical trials were conducted during the development of the new drug. Can I be a weightlifter? Can I be a weightlifter? Will you go forward? Will you go forward? Were my cousins professors? Were my cousins professors? You didn't clean it at noon. You didn't clean it at noon. I am working. I am working. Caretaker of grandchildren. Caretaker of grandchildren. He waited for the bus in the rain. He waited for the bus in the rain. He listened to music while working. He listened to music while working. We always run away. We always run away. Does it have to appear? Does it have to appear? What is your favorite food? What is your favorite food? Are we going to read it later at 3 a.m.? Are we going to read it later at 3 a.m.? Doesn't he undertake? Doesn't he undertake? Have you destroyed it at 3 midnight before? Have you destroyed it at 3 midnight before? Couldn't he have suppressed it before? Couldn't he have suppressed it before? Am I an artist every week? Am I an artist every week? After a week we may not be afraid. After a week we may not be afraid. If you want, I will go to school. If you want, I will go to school. Should we usually provide? Should we usually provide? Can't we be sheriff at dawn? Can't we be sheriff at dawn? Injured in the twilight? Injured in the twilight? Developer every month, right? Developer every month, right? How long have you had the problem? How long have you had the problem? Can't he stretch? Can't he stretch? We didn't work last year. We didn't work last year. 2 houses beyond description. 2 houses beyond description. Central Park is a popular tourist destination. Central Park is a popular tourist destination. You cannot guess. You cannot guess. Do you know of a good restaurant in this area? Do you know of a good restaurant in this area? Coral Reef. Coral Reef. Here's your check. Have a nice day. Here's your check. Have a nice day. Is his stepbrother a trucker? Is his stepbrother a trucker? Can't we add it after 4 months? Can't we add it after 4 months? Will I never be a politician? Will I never be a politician? Did he juggle the night before? Did he juggle the night before? If it's not dirty, I'll go out. If it's not dirty, I'll go out. She was a maid at dawn. She was a maid at dawn. They were jogging in the park when they ran into an old friend. They were jogging in the park when they ran into an old friend. Repeatedly. Repeatedly. This is concern. This is concern. No matter what, she's always there for me. No matter what, she's always there for me. He will not be a poet often. He will not be a poet often. It could be poison. It could be poison. Your nephew's caretaker. Your nephew's caretaker. Does my grandma draw? Does my grandma draw? Temporary. Temporary. I shouldn't be preaching weekly. I shouldn't be preaching weekly. Can't you create it later? Can't you create it later? They couldn't win. They couldn't win. He goes to the beach to relax. He goes to the beach to relax. What should I say? What should I say? He has been traveling last year. He has been traveling last year. I have been working with him for the last 2 months. I have been working with him for the last 2 months. She wears a necklace every day. She wears a necklace every day. I'm in the next room. I'm in the next room. Maybe you should go home and clean up. Maybe you should go home and clean up. Was she a fashion designer? Was she a fashion designer? Beyond the horizon there is a whole new world to explore. Beyond the horizon there is a whole new world to explore. Normally I shouldn't be an assistant. Normally I shouldn't be an assistant. 2 I'm going to the aquarium. 2 I'm going to the aquarium. Let me see yours. Let me see yours. The difference between the 2 plans was not immediately obvious. The difference between the 2 plans was not immediately obvious. Never agreed? Never agreed? We must approach at night. We must approach at night. I am working. I am working. Anna, your life is in danger. Anna, your life is in danger. I had to leave because you were late. I had to leave because you were late. I rode my bike to the park. I rode my bike to the park. I have not heard your words. I have not heard your words. That daily incentive? That daily incentive? It is not prepared every day. It is not prepared every day. Your son is a cop. Your son is a cop. Have you designed it before? Have you designed it before? Shake. Shake. 2 seconds later, dermatologist? 2 seconds later, dermatologist? Did they always agree? Did they always agree? Didn't it rise a century ago? Didn't it rise a century ago? Rarely cry? Rarely cry? She doesn't like. She doesn't like. Was my son an orthopedist? Was my son an orthopedist? Your brother-in-law was a designer. Your brother-in-law was a designer. I'm going to clean my house from top to bottom. I'm going to clean my house from top to bottom. There would be no dentist in a second. There would be no dentist in a second. She has been doing yoga for years. She has been doing yoga for years. His daughter was a gymnast. His daughter was a gymnast. I can kiss. I can kiss. We were weathermen 4 centuries ago. We were weathermen 4 centuries ago. Disappeared? Disappeared? As far as I know. As far as I know. Then we can be paramedics. Then we can be paramedics. Also, I think we should consider another option. Also, I think we should consider another option. Be sure to come back for your next appointment. Be sure to come back for your next appointment. He won't buy the car until he takes it for a test drive. He won't buy the car until he takes it for a test drive. Our mother-in-law was a landscape architect. Our mother-in-law was a landscape architect. Snack. Snack. I don't want to lose my machine for magazines. I don't want to lose my machine for magazines. Relatives were messengers. Relatives were messengers. Part of it. Part of it. They had already decided on the menu before I arrived. They had already decided on the menu before I arrived. Are we in demand? Are we in demand? Does he buy? Does he buy? Then they mine. Then they mine. Don't they iron every day? Don't they iron every day? Did he calculate it the night before? Did he calculate it the night before? Didn't you survive 4 years ago? Didn't you survive 4 years ago? I would like to work in a place where I can make a difference. I would like to work in a place where I can make a difference. May not run immediately. May not run immediately. I will go because I want to. I will go because I want to. Should finance it. Should finance it. I would like to live in a world where people are kind to each other. I would like to live in a world where people are kind to each other. My grandfather is a lobbyist. My grandfather is a lobbyist. I don't notice anything special about the story. I don't notice anything special about the story. We are never cream. We are never cream. I'm not sure what you need. I'm not sure what you need. They do often. They do often. Were their parents cops? Were their parents cops? You should be a night columnist. You should be a night columnist. The rain is quiet. The rain is quiet. Can we feel it next year? Can we feel it next year? Can we normally be a mechanic? Can we normally be a mechanic? I don't think the internet is necessarily the best source of information. I don't think the internet is necessarily the best source of information. Minute. Minute. Even though it's raining outside, I still plan to go for a run. Even though it's raining outside, I still plan to go for a run. Let me finish this chapter before I go. Let me finish this chapter before I go. They are going to school. They are going to school. Usually a sportscaster. Usually a sportscaster. The channel was too deep. The channel was too deep. They were firemen 5 minutes ago. They were firemen 5 minutes ago. That's when it appeared. That's when it appeared. I'm not sure if I'm the right person for this job. I'm not sure if I'm the right person for this job. Let's go back. Please, John. Let's go back. Please, John. It is not support. It is not support. I'm going out to dinner with my friends. I'm going out to dinner with my friends. Shouldn't we be right back? Shouldn't we be right back? We couldn't catch it the night before. We couldn't catch it the night before. I talked to my boss about my raise. I talked to my boss about my raise. Are your grandparents butlers? Are your grandparents butlers? It is not prompted after 1 second. It is not prompted after 1 second. Cannot create. Cannot create. Is her grandmother a golfer? Is her grandmother a golfer? I am a middle school senior. My favorite subject is math and biology. I am a middle school senior. My favorite subject is math and biology. Will you lure 4 a.m. later? Will you lure 4 a.m. later? Not everyone agreed with the proposal. Not everyone agreed with the proposal. Did not explain. Did not explain. Not a judge next year. Not a judge next year. Should not travel. Should not travel. He's not bartending that night. He's not bartending that night. Can we work then? Can we work then? Wasn't he president at all? Wasn't he president at all? Where can I get this? Where can I get this? They have never tried spicy food before. They have never tried spicy food before. Is my stepdad a therapist? Is my stepdad a therapist? Should I mention it soon? Should I mention it soon? You go on. You go on. Is there anyone who can drive you home? Is there anyone who can drive you home? Snack. Snack. Was our nephew a watchman? Was our nephew a watchman? Who will clean this up? Who will clean this up? Should I be an afternoon financier? Should I be an afternoon financier? Doesn't it get old later? Doesn't it get old later? They can coach after 4 seconds. They can coach after 4 seconds. I can't escape 10 years. I can't escape 10 years. Not everyone has the ability to understand complex concepts. Not everyone has the ability to understand complex concepts. May I have your order, please? May I have your order, please? I'm going to kindergarten. I'm going to kindergarten. I have a couple of paints. I have a couple of paints. The federal government is responsible for taxes. The federal government is responsible for taxes. Let me help. Let me help. I listen to music while working. I listen to music while working. Can I help you find a comfortable seat? Can I help you find a comfortable seat? Reconcile. Reconcile. Do they usually push? Do they usually push? Should not be covered at dusk. Should not be covered at dusk. Hard working. Hard working. Will you plan for the next 5 days? Will you plan for the next 5 days? They would work. They would work. We were cleaning the house before the guests arrived. We were cleaning the house before the guests arrived. I'm listening to music. I'm listening to music. The director of the company resigned after a financial scandal. The director of the company resigned after a financial scandal. Your stepson was the CEO. Your stepson was the CEO. Shouldn't I always be an orthopedist? Shouldn't I always be an orthopedist? A woman's non-spending year and how she survived. A woman's non-spending year and how she survived. You enter school. You enter school. Can you give some information about the Wi-Fi coverage of the campus? Can you give some information about the Wi-Fi coverage of the campus? Increase. Increase. We pride ourselves on being a local business. We pride ourselves on being a local business. Can they insist right away? Can they insist right away? I should never believe you. I should never believe you. He won't be back at dawn. He won't be back at dawn. Can you come with me? Can you come with me? I will study for my exams tomorrow. I will study for my exams tomorrow. Subtract. Subtract. I can't wait to go to the beach next weekend. I can't wait to go to the beach next weekend. He plays the guitar every day. He plays the guitar every day. Can I be a stylist in 1 hour? Can I be a stylist in 1 hour? Was my grandson the financier? Was my grandson the financier? Can't recognize it after 4 weeks? Can't recognize it after 4 weeks? Couldn't we connect at 5 o'clock the night before? Couldn't we connect at 5 o'clock the night before? John, can you ask Mary? John, can you ask Mary? I include. I include. What do you recommend? What do you recommend? Your children were researchers. Your children were researchers. Was his stepson a waiter? Was his stepson a waiter? He is riding a rabbit. He is riding a rabbit. They were practicing their dance routine for a competition. They were practicing their dance routine for a competition. I will never give up on my dreams. I will never give up on my dreams. You cannot teach. You cannot teach. Can't judge in the twilight? Can't judge in the twilight? To indicate. To indicate. I don't notice anything special about the experience. I don't notice anything special about the experience. We should not experience. We should not experience. Our mother-in-law was a landscape architect. Our mother-in-law was a landscape architect. Weren't they naturalists last year? Weren't they naturalists last year? He was fixing his bike when he noticed a flat tire. He was fixing his bike when he noticed a flat tire. They can land in 5 weeks. They can land in 5 weeks. Our sister was a marketer. Our sister was a marketer. I have 2 sons and my eldest son's name is Tommy. This car is his. I have 2 sons and my eldest son's name is Tommy. This car is his. Should do. Should do. Are the summers hot where you live? Are the summers hot where you live? I know this. I directed him to you. I know this. I directed him to you. Would they seek? Would they seek? They are not ignored after 1 week. They are not ignored after 1 week. Our husband is a caregiver. Our husband is a caregiver. To earn money. To earn money. I can't escape. I can't escape. Are their grandchildren the receptionists? Are their grandchildren the receptionists? When the party's over, they'll be partying for 5 hours. When the party's over, they'll be partying for 5 hours. Do I play? Do I play? After 2 months cannot reduce. After 2 months cannot reduce. They received a surprise gift while celebrating their anniversary. They received a surprise gift while celebrating their anniversary. He was accepted into his dream university. He was accepted into his dream university. I have a stone son. I have a stone son. Was your son a director? Was your son a director? I don't want to go home. I don't want to go home. 1 day later he will not trust. 1 day later he will not trust. They don't end at noon. They don't end at noon. 21st century. 21st century. I'm going to the bank. I'm going to the bank. David learns to drive tomorrow. David learns to drive tomorrow. There are many words that I don't understand. There are many words that I don't understand. We can't eat. We can't eat. They have a rest after 1 week. They have a rest after 1 week. They can always serve. They can always serve. He pointed to the menu with his finger. He pointed to the menu with his finger. I don't know how to say. I don't know how to say. The team did not win the championship. The team did not win the championship. We must not forget to bring our passports to the airport. We must not forget to bring our passports to the airport. Was your stepfather a greengrocer? Was your stepfather a greengrocer? Can you post it in a day? Can you post it in a day? Sometimes we will not forget. Sometimes we will not forget. Can you test normally? Can you test normally? Soon. Soon. We should not experience. We should not experience. They were playing tennis when it started to get dark. They were playing tennis when it started to get dark. What is your favorite player? What is your favorite player? Our staff is here to make your visit enjoyable. Our staff is here to make your visit enjoyable. All tickets are sold out. All tickets are sold out. Would not interpret 10 years. Would not interpret 10 years. Can you lend me some money? Can you lend me some money? All the guests came for the party. All the guests came for the party. Cannot be published annually. Cannot be published annually. Don't you reduce. Don't you reduce. The store had closed early that day, so we had to come back the next day to get what we needed. The store had closed early that day, so we had to come back the next day to get what we needed. They loved watching comedy. They loved watching comedy. Wouldn't I be a golfer sometimes? Wouldn't I be a golfer sometimes? Engineers will design a new product for the company. Engineers will design a new product for the company. Are our grandchildren singers? Are our grandchildren singers? Could you please turn off the lights on your way out? Could you please turn off the lights on your way out? I just got a call from my friend. I just got a call from my friend. The child is less than 5 years old. The child is less than 5 years old. I have many principles. I have many principles. Shouldn't they run away soon? Shouldn't they run away soon? The engineer was very busy and very entertaining. The engineer was very busy and very entertaining. Approximately how long does it take to complete this task? Approximately how long does it take to complete this task? Was your grandson a gynecologist? Was your grandson a gynecologist? Your sister was a garbage man. Your sister was a garbage man. I understand what you're saying, but I'm not sure I agree. I understand what you're saying, but I'm not sure I agree. His half-brother is an alchemist. His half-brother is an alchemist. Spending. Spending. You can apply every day. You can apply every day. Dependence. Dependence. I'm going to teach someone English. I'm going to teach someone English. Vandalism is a crime. Vandalism is a crime. The players will train for the match to be played next week. The players will train for the match to be played next week. Wasn't I missing? Wasn't I missing? Shouldn't you be a pilot in 3 days? Shouldn't you be a pilot in 3 days? I will be born. I will be born. There has been an increase. There has been an increase. Stepdaughter's race car driver. Stepdaughter's race car driver. Can he be happy? Can he be happy? John as we speak. John as we speak. Can't you watch every week? Can't you watch every week? You will receive an email with more information. You will receive an email with more information. Before we get started, let's get to our agenda. Before we get started, let's get to our agenda. Your son is an operator. Your son is an operator. Do they judge at sunset? Do they judge at sunset? To discover. To discover. You speak Spanish fluently. You speak Spanish fluently. Shouldn't sink soon. Shouldn't sink soon. You and I should talk about what's going to happen. You and I should talk about what's going to happen. Haven't I been a cop woman often? Haven't I been a cop woman often? They didn't watch. They didn't watch. He's a 2-week trainer. He's a 2-week trainer. Didn't you diversify? Didn't you diversify? Elephant is a large animal. Elephant is a large animal. I have to pick up my son from school. I have to pick up my son from school. Did you recognize me at 2 o'clock the night before? Did you recognize me at 2 o'clock the night before? I'll text you the details of our next meeting. I'll text you the details of our next meeting. Does she normally have to be a nurse? Does she normally have to be a nurse? Do you travel a lot? Do you travel a lot? Can they see 5 years ago? Can they see 5 years ago? Missing staff. Missing staff. The company will hire new employees next year. The company will hire new employees next year. Your half-brother is the founder. Your half-brother is the founder. Shouldn't I wake up at sunset? Shouldn't I wake up at sunset? We continue. We continue. Would she not tremble? Would she not tremble? I am mad at you. I am mad at you. To ground you. To ground you. Don't I have to do some research in a minute? Don't I have to do some research in a minute? Watched the sunset on the beach. Watched the sunset on the beach. He could have taught 3 nights ago. He could have taught 3 nights ago. Is his son a businessman? Is his son a businessman?